Aloha, I'm Coco Iwamoto, and I'm a progressive Democrat running for Lieutenant Governor. I have been working on the front lines of homelessness since 2001. I began my career as a public interest attorney, coordinating free legal clinics in homeless shelters and in community centers across the state. I became a licensed therapeutic foster parent, and many of the teenagers who I opened my heart and my home to, many of them were homeless or incarcerated. So I started to advocate for their education, and that's what brought me to the Board of Education. I was able to address issues like discrimination that they were facing. Eventually, I purchased an apartment building in the urban core of Honolulu. And that is one of my businesses that I have, and 50% of my units are committed to house previously homeless families or families who would be homeless if not for their Section 8 housing. So I'm the only candidate in my race that has been working hands-on in the trenches as a community member. And there are several issues around homelessness that we could address. First of all, we need to make sure that we're enforcing the laws around short-term rentals. What's happened is a lot of the rentals that were in the long-term rental market that house local families have moved into serving tourists in the short-term rental market because the landowners and the land investors found it more profitable to put their property on the short-term rental market. So now what's happened is the long-term rentals have totally gone down, which makes the prices go up. And that's a problem. So we need to enforce the laws regarding short-term rentals. Number two, we need to make sure that minimum wage is increased to $22 an hour, because local families earning minimum wage cannot afford rents. And so many families are living paycheck to paycheck. So the only way we're going to deal with that issue is to raise the minimum wage. Today, local banks, to be a bank teller, they're starting at $15 an hour for just a high school diploma. So we can do this. $22 an hour would not be a huge impact on business. Finally, there's been so many efforts to build affordable housing developments, but it's almost impossible for these developments to compete with luxury developments. One of the reasons why is because when they're both bidding, when an affordable development is bidding against a luxury development for the same piece of property or the same labor or materials, who's going to win out in that bidding war? The luxury developers are always going to win out because their clients are the world's wealthiest 1%, whereas affordable housing developers have very small profit margins. So what we need to do is have a moratorium, a complete stop of any building permits for luxury developments. Stop the luxury, focus on affordable. Once affordable gets met and once we build enough affordable housing, then we can resume building luxury. And actually what we should do is any developer who's connected to fulfilling the affordable housing, we give them extra bonus points when they go for their building permit to build their luxury. We let them first in line to get their building permits if they helped to build affordable. That's really important. The final thing is that we need to change our bankruptcy laws. The federal bankruptcy laws have gotten worse for consumers, for working class citizens. The federal bankruptcy laws have been changed to help the corporate financial institutions get their money from working people. Bankruptcy laws were designed to allow people to have a fresh start. Like, everyone needs a fresh start. If you're in an accident and you weren't able to work and you have all these doctor bills and you start extending your credit cards or the doctors start garnishing your wages, you have a right to file for bankruptcy. And what this did was allow people to get back on their feet. Today, the bankruptcy laws have changed, and our state protections of our consumer protections on the state level have not kept up with the federal laws that benefit financial corporations. So we need to amend our state bankruptcy definitions. For instance, we need to be able to tell the financial institutions that they cannot garnish more than 10% of somebody's wages. Because there's no way, if you're homeless and you're working, there's no way you're going to get off the streets if most of your paycheck is being garnished. You're never going to be able to find, your deposit money or your first month's rent. It's impossible. So there are many solutions that we can address. And actually, you know what, I would say the last solution is we need to raise taxes on corporations. Hawaii has the lowest corporate tax rate in the nation. It's like Alabama is 49th in the state lowest, 49th lowest, and we are 50% below Alabama. Corporations, if we made them pay their taxes, they would. They would have to pay their taxes. But if we don't ask them to pay their fair share, it's a corporation's duty to its shareholder to pay the least amount of taxes. So we need to change the laws to say corporations pay fair. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Coco Iwamoto. I'm running for Lieutenant Governor, and you can learn more about me at kimcoco.com. That's KIMCOCO.com. Aloha.